It's 1 minute till showtime.
Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to visit our refreshment center during the intermission or any time. You love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. So will the youngsters. Everything is quality and so good. We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see, delightful snacks to nibble, a gay, pleasant evening for all. Oh, a word of caution. Don't drive over 10 miles an hour in the theater area for your safety's sake. And Mom or Pop, go with the kids when they leave the car. We hope you have a wonderful time. And now, on with the show.
Hi, everybody. My name's Jim. This is the More Sunshine Please Tuesday evening live stream. How are you doing? I'm all right. You know, I just put this shirt on. I'm not really celebrating St. Patrick's Day, but I guess I kind of am. It seems kind of far away. So I put this shirt on after I had put that on the screen, and now I realize it doesn't look right to me. Not on my monitor anyway. I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to worry about it. Coming up on the show today, I'm going to eat something. I'm going to drink something. We're going to play some games. I have a top 15 list. But before we do any of that, I like to celebrate the first 3 people that make their way into my chat. So let me do that. Let's celebrate our gold, silver, and bronze medal winners. I still can't hear that. I don't think I could hear it last week either. Anyway, your chat may differ from mine. Let's go to it. And it's fun to see when the chat begins. In this case, our first entrant into the chat, or the last remaining first entrance into the chat, was at 7:42 a.m., and it's Joey's World. Our gold medal is Lala. Season's greetings to you at 7:43, 1 minute after. That was close. And then Ryan at just before 8 a.m. this morning. Thank you for being here, and congratulations on your medals. I guess it was... Now, this was at 8:30, so... Yeah, I don't know. And it's never the same, is it? Donna Jaworski, season's greetings. Paul Eichenlaub. Yeah, very early into the chat. I sure do appreciate that. This is fun. Mr. Fulton Mraz is here. Or was, hours ago. We'll see. Mara in Memphis, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here earlier. Oh, yeah. 6 to you, 7 for me, I think. Birdwell, welcome in. Mark Langenkamp, hello to you. Keith, BDF. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by, hanging out with us. Yeah, it's Joey's World. They're back. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Surfer Girl, hello to you. Michelle the Quilter, hello to you and your family. Let's see who else is in here. Mark, Rachel Fithian, welcome in. Good to see you. Pepper Tree Villa is in the house. Hello. Going through, seeing who else is here. I've got some things lined up that I'm very interested in. From North to Neverland in the house. Hello to you. Sherry, hello. Oh, you're driving. All right. Safe on the road. Lala's back. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Sebastian. Hello. Likes the thumbnail. Well, thank you. More on that later. I've got a top 15 list involving things that are misremembered. So hopefully that'll be fun for everybody. I've got something I found on a clearance shelf, and I don't often have. Before I continue, Movie Mania Nick, welcome in. We were part of the Rob Fuzz Pub Talk Oscar picks, and as always, I did poorly. But Rob did great. Rob and Adam won this year. They had the most correct picks. But it's fun. I don't care how I do. I don't see most of the movies, so I guess I see what things are winning awards, and that's how I base most of my picks. Anyway, check out Rob Fuzz's channel for more on that, and also Adam's Land, that channel. Adam's in the movie industry, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I found something on a clearance shelf, and I haven't done this segment in a while, so let's do that right now. This is from the Winn-Dixie, and I check out the clearance shelf there every time I go, and Publix, and frankly, everywhere I go. But I found this stuff, and I may have had it before in the past. I certainly don't remember it. I think I've seen it. And because it was 75% off, I decided to go for it this time. So when I taste it, I'll try to remember if it's familiar to me or not. This is Hawaiian Punch cotton candy. And the bag I have in front of me has already been cracked open and has been tested by members of the household. And let me smell it first. Cotton candy-ish with a slight fruit punch scent. My wife did try this, and she did say, and I don't think I'm telling tales out of school, this might be the best cotton candy she ever had. I don't know if she had hit her head or... No, I'm kidding. But she did enjoy it, so I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm not the cotton candy aficionado that she may be, and we discuss this quite often. There are people that bite into cotton candy with their teeth. I have never done that. That does not appeal to me. Instead, I let it melt on my tongue. I press it up against the roof of my mouth. I let it dissolve. That's how I enjoy cotton candy. And just like that, it's gone. It's good. It's not overly, I mean, this might be the stupidest thing I've ever said. It's not overly sweet. Like I thought, it's cotton candy. I thought it was going to, when I saw it, when I purchased it, I thought it might be overpoweringly sweet. And that's why it's on the clearance shelf. Because even people with tremendous sweet tooths may not even like this. But that's not the case. This is very nearly just regular cotton candy. There is a slight fruit punch scent and flavor. But for 75% off, for less than $1, that's a thumbs up. It's cotton candy, though. I mean, what are you going to do? All right. What's going on now? Oh, speaking of crazy sweet foods, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I showed pictures of cereals that I had seen in Walmart, and they were just ridiculous. They were super sugary and maybe shouldn't be available for human consumption. But I wasn't in Walmart again. I did see one more cereal. It was at Big Lot or Big Lots. I don't know the name of the store, which I hadn't been to in a long time. But they quite often have interesting things there. And they had a clearance shelf there as well. And that's where I saw this. I did not purchase it, but I did take a picture of it. And this, I wish I had this with my other cereal pictures. But this goes along with cereals that they fashion after other incredibly sweet things. Weeks ago, I showed you cereals that were milkshake flavored, or I don't even remember what else was on there. But this one, a little different. This is icy flavored cereal. I know it's probably just cherry and blue raspberry flavored cereal. I mean, they could just call it that. But instead, they want the sweet confection that is a Slurpee, icy, what else they call that? Slush puppy. What's another thing? Anyway, I can't imagine that's great, but maybe, I mean, again, it's just fruit flavored, but they give you that other icy concoction on there to let you know, yeah, this is sweet. We're not fooling around. I don't know. But, yeah, I did not purchase it. Had no intention. Wasn't even close to purchasing it. But I thought it was amusing. Here's another segment I haven't had on the show in a while. And this is, occasionally I'll find something of interest in terms of wildlife around my neighborhood. So, and on Sunday there was something. So let's bring back that segment. Back in October, I showed you something that happened in the summer. I saved it for October because it was Halloween-ish. If you remember, I showed you some vultures that were in our neighborhood. And they're not often in our neighborhood. They're usually not in our neighborhood. But on Sunday, they were back. And they were back with a vengeance. There were dozens of them. And I will show you, I did walk out there to the backyard. And I recorded some of the vultures. From the video back in October, there were a couple of vultures in my driveway, and then they flew on top of the neighbor's house, and there were a few of them, maybe 5. A lot more than 5 this time. And here's the thing. They came on Sunday, and then they left. I haven't seen them since. Anyway, let me get to the video. Hopefully you'll find it interesting. It is... they were much more active and numerous. Let's see, how do I do this? I did it earlier. It's still there. There it is. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so that's the roof of our neighbor's house. And, yeah, there's one of the vultures. We've seen, I believe what they call turkey vultures. I don't know what type of vultures these are, but that's the tallest tree in our backyard, and you could see there were 8 or 9 of them perched in that tree. And there's another tree back there and that I'll show you in a second where the vultures were just hanging out. And they were super active. They were flying back and forth from the trees to somewhere in front of our house. I don't know where they were going. This one landed on our house with another dude. Yeah, our gutters are a little dirty, but we're getting those replaced. I just wanted to note that. Here's one on the neighbor's fence back there, and you can see they were very active. I think that one was checking me out to see if I was roadkill or not. I flashed him the peace sign, and he said, "Oh, okay, dude," and flew off. I was just seeing if you were edible. But, and when they flew overhead, you could hear them. These are large birds, and it was like you opened a book and you were flapping the book in your hand. You could just hear their wings against the wind and the air. And it was just, you know, most of the birds around here are tiny, and you don't hear their wings flap like that. And if you do, it's kind of a high-pitched flap. Well, these had a deep sound. They were big. They were big birds. So anyway, that was that. And like I said, they came and went. They are gone. I haven't seen them since Sunday. I don't know if they just hop from neighborhood to neighborhood, seeing what's up, casing the layout. But that was interesting. And I'm glad they're not here every day. And when they land on your house, if you're in your house and they land on your roof, you hear it. You're sitting at the kitchen table or whatever, and then oh my goodness, what is? And you look outside and you can see shadows on the ground of the birds flying overhead, and they cast large shadows, and it's very interesting at the time, and once you know what's going on, and you realize, oh, those are birds landing on our house, huge birds landing on our house. It's notable. I wanted to show you. Plus, I like that segment. I wish there was a bigger variety of wildlife that I haven't shown you yet that comes up. I want to keep it safe, of course. We've never had a gator in our yard. We've had one in a retention pond in a neighborhood we lived in, but thankfully nothing close to our home that I know of. But we'll see. If you're just joining me, I apologize for not welcoming you. For example, my parents, welcome in. Cynthia is also here. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. And if anybody else joined lately, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. What's next? Okay. Like I said, it's kind of my St. Patrick's Day show, but not really. But I do have something to eat from Aldi that is St. Patrick's Day themed. So I want to eat that now. A while ago, I got a candy bar. It was a bar of chocolate from Aldi. From the brand was Moser Roth, which is, I believe, a German company. Aldi's a German company. It makes sense. And that candy bar had cornflakes in it, and it was pretty good. This is also from that same brand, Moser Roth. They have a box of St. Patrick's Day chocolate truffles. Now, Trader Joe's, there's one in Tampa. It's 45 minutes away. We don't often get there. But we have a number of Aldi by us, and they have some comparable items. I don't know if Trader Joe's has anything like this, but here we go. I'll just show you that. Do I want one of each? There's 4 different ones in here. What do we have? We've got the Blarney Chocolate Cream. That's the one with chocolate stripes on it. The Leprechaun's Irish Coffee flavor. That's the one in the middle there. We've got the Pot o' Gold Salted Caramel. That's the one with salt flakes on the top. And we have Lucky Vanilla. Maybe I won't try the vanilla. I am interested. I don't know if I want to try all of these. That would take a long time. The Blarney Chocolate Cream. Yes, that's the one I want. There it is. Should I try the music? Well, that's very good. That was very good. I don't want to try another one now. Well, I do. I am interested in the Irish coffee flavor, but now my mouth's full of chocolate. Doesn't matter. It's for the show. This is the Irish coffee flavor. Both very good. This is a winner. The Blarney chocolate cream, though it appears to be covered in white chocolate, was incredibly chocolatey. It's a truffle, so the middle is just nothing but chocolate. The Irish coffee flavor was excellent. It tasted like mocha. Not so much like a Bailey's. which is just Irish cream, but I associate that with coffee. I don't know why. But, and I guess that's Irish coffee, is it not? Or is that, no, that's just whiskey. Whiskey and coffee? I don't know. It doesn't matter. That was delicious. This is a winner. Aldi. Save the rest for my family. Now, speaking of coffee.
Great coffee is easy, Mrs. Olson.
Coffee's for closers only.
I set high standards for myself. I set high standards for my coffee.
Picks you up, calms you down. It's the lifeblood that drives the dreams of champions.
It's my coffee break. Ladies and gentlemen, home from spring break is the boy. Say hi, boy.
Hi. How's it going?
Thank you. So far, so good. That's a winner. This is a winner. You can take those in.
Right.
Enjoy those. Mom loved that, and she hasn't tried that yet. Well, take them with you.
I won't try one.
Oh, okay. You can't wait. How is it? It's very good, isn't it? Yeah. Thumbs up.
Very good. All right, bye, stream. Thank you.
Cynthia wants to know if she can braid your hair.
When the time comes.
When the time comes. Okay. All right. See you later.
Yeah.
All right. Where was I? Oh, I was about to drink coffee out of the Orlando Guy mug. Coffee tastes 38% better when drinking from an Orlando Guy mug. That's not a real stat. Today's coffee is unknown. Keith is wondering where the soundbite is from my segment intro. And it was from Folgers. Mrs. Olson was a spokeslady for Folgers. And that was from one of those commercials. So yes, you were right. How can he do long hair in the heat? Well, he does get it cut. He's had it cut multiple times. And I guess he likes that length. He's got a magnificent head of hair. Oh, coffee. Yes. So here's my coffee, of course. Goes great with those truffles. I wondered, I don't often drink decaffeinated coffee, but I did wonder, how do they get the caffeine out of the coffee? How do they make decaffeinated coffee? I had no idea. So right before the show, I looked it up. Oh, wait a minute. Lauren Bacall is also in that. Yes, you're right. She was a spokesperson for, I don't remember the coffee brand now, but it no longer exists, I don't think. But if you look up Lauren Bacall coffee on YouTube, you'll find it, because that's what I did. Yes, and the other one was, the other two voices are that of Alec Baldwin from Glengarry Glen Ross, in a very famous scene from that movie. And the final voice in my intro is Mike Ditka, who is in the movie Kicking and Screaming, starring Will Ferrell. And Will Ferrell doesn't drink coffee, but Mike Ditka convinces him to, and that was part of his pitch about why he should drink coffee. Drives the dreams of champions. Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee, he says. I don't know if that's true. It might be. I don't know. It's in the movie. Mara remembers her doing coffee commercials. Yeah, I just don't remember the brand. Like I said, though, it no longer exists. Okay. So anyway, I looked it up. How is coffee removed? It turns out there's a number of ways caffeine is removed from coffee beans. I think the most common method is this. Beans are moistened or steamed to open their pores, then washed over and over with an organic solvent like methylene chloride, which extracts the caffeine from the beans. When the beans are relatively free of caffeine, They are then washed with copious amounts of water and dried to remove residual solvent. There was some other solvent I had read about, not on this website that I'm looking at, but so methylene chloride and something else is used. There is another, there's a number of ways to remove the caffeine. Another one is by water extraction. The process to remove caffeine from coffee beans using water was first developed in Switzerland in the 1930s. In the Swiss water process, a batch of beans are washed in very hot water to extract the caffeine and other water-soluble compounds from the beans. The beans are discarded while the water is filtered. It's discarded while the water is filtered to remove the caffeine, yielding a caffeine-free green coffee extract. That decaffeinated green coffee extract is then used to wash another batch of coffee beans. Since the green coffee extract is already loaded with the water-soluble extracts of the coffee beans, this time only the caffeine is extracted from the new set of beans, without losing any of the flavors and oils from the beans. The washing step is repeated until most of the caffeine has been extracted from the beans. Then I wondered what is done with the caffeine after they remove it. And as you might imagine, it's used in other products, including soda and cosmetics. Why it's used in cosmetics, I do not know. But I don't know much about cosmetics. Nick says, soda is my caffeine and I am, it's part of mine. This is the other part. And chocolate, frankly. So I'm nothing but caffeine right now. Although I haven't had the soda, I guess. But yes. Oh, heartburn, what? Oh, that's the saddest thing I've heard all day. Mara, I'm sorry to hear that. There are some foods that beer gives me heartburn. Specifically, Miller Lite. I can't drink that. And all beers make my gout flare up. I think I've talked about that before. Anyway, coffee. All right. Let's play our game. Chrono Photo. Let's go. Let's do this. Where's the intro? Here it is. All right. This is our game. We will be shown 5 pictures, and we have to guess in which year each picture was taken. There's a slider down at the bottom of our screen that allows us to choose which year the picture was taken. Our earliest guess can be the year 1900. The latest guess can be last year, 2013. So I'll leave that right there. As of 2 weeks ago, our record score is a perfect score, 5,000. With an asterisk? No, it's legit. We got a perfect score. But how many perfect scores can we get? Can we get another one today? I'd like to know. All right. Our first picture. Let me make it a little bit larger there for you, and I will zoom in to parts of the picture. Okay, here we go. I'm ready. This picture appears to be in a record store in a mall. And I will leave... I guess we should zoom in on some of the albums. It looks like it's... The main thing they're selling is LPs, 12-inch vinyl. So if we zoom in here to this end cap, well, there's a couple of customers there. Wow, $4.99, $5.99. Now, I don't recognize but one of these albums on the end cap here. I think the one on the very left is Bruce Springsteen. I'm not a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. I've never owned a Bruce Springsteen record. But I that looks like it might be a Bruce Springsteen record cover. I could be wrong about that. Born in the USA, which was 1984. That much I know. I'm guessing this is in the 70s at some time. Not only do they sell records, they sell musical instruments. Look at that. Car stereos, is that what that says? Popular albums. All right. This screams 70s to me. I don't recognize any other album covers. There's a lady on this one. The picture is not very great, very good quality at all. This might be the Bee Gees down here. That might be a display of Bee Gees records. That pyramid of albums there. That's what that looks like. It looks like it says Bee Gees down at the bottom, and it looks like the three of them on a couple of those records down there in the corner here. Yeah, no doubt. And frankly, record stores weren't having displays of Bee Gees records until after Saturday Night Fever, which was 1977, was it not? Over here, this is a familiar. I think that's the band Boston. And they had, famously, only 2 albums in the 70s. They released their first one in 1976, I believe. But I think this is their second one, which was released 2 years later in 1978. That would make sense with the Bee Gees display. They were a hot ticket after 1977. So if this was released in 78 and we're having a display of a bunch of Bee Gees records over here, that makes sense that it's after 77, 78, no doubt. So 78, 79 even? I'm not sure. What are these people? They work there, but they look like customers. This is no doubt in a mall. It's such a long, narrow store. What's behind the counter? I don't know. Poster over here on the very right, but I can't make out what any of these other items are. I will be turning to the chat now to see what you guys have to say. All right. I think our first guess is from Surf Bum. By the way, welcome in, John. Your guess is 1977. Let me zoom out just a bit. I can't zoom too far in without losing quality here. Popular albums. I don't even see 45s. Maybe that's the 45. Those are the bins on the right there. I only see record albums. Something tape on the sign above. Oh, well. Let me zoom out so you can see the full picture. Is that it? There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to go to more of the chat. Keith said 2013 with 3 question marks. I'm going to put 3 question marks by that one as well. Paul says 2023. Paul Engel, welcome in. I'm not so sure about that. Mark says 78. Noah, hello. Did I say hi to Noah? Well, hello. If I didn't, hello, Noah. If those are albums, those are very cheap. Now, I know they've made a comeback. I mean, not in my house, but they are pressing vinyl albums again. They sell them in the Cracker Barrel gift shop. That's the only place I go where they have... No, that's not true. I think they have them in Walmart as well. And maybe Target. They probably have them everywhere. It's a thing now. Again. What's old is new. Mark says 78. Paul says 82. We've got... let's see. Noah says 75. 1980. We've got a couple of 1980s. We've got a 78, 79, 77, 78. 110 camera, very blurry. Sticking with 78. you noticed the Bee Gees as well. Yes, all right. We've got Connie Rathbun, welcome in, and thank you for your guess of 1978. Right. Barnes & Noble has vinyl. Good to know. Oh, does the sign say cassettes? That makes sense. I couldn't make it out. Cassette tape, that's what it says. I see it now. That makes sense. It's obscured by the fluorescent light, but I see it now. Cassette tape, right? Probably. All right. Lots of 78, 77, 78, 79. If this is at the front of the store, it's a brand new release, I'm guessing. And this album, I think I know that it was released in 1978, so that's the guess I'm going with. 1978, I move the slider, click the submit button. 78! All right, great start. We have 1,000 points. You know, the closer we are to the right answer, the more points we get. And for a perfect score, we get 1,000 points. Let's go to the next picture, and there goes our perfect game. There is... Oh, this is tough. Maybe there are automobiles in the back, or are there people? I don't even see people in this picture. It is a... this could be during the Depression. Oh, it appears maybe it's in Seattle. Seattle Hardware Company on the building. Automobiles are hard to see. I actually don't see any. But this is a railroad, train station, rail yard. That's what I meant to say, rail yard. What else is over here? This is hard. This is difficult. I don't like this one. I think this is where Charlie Bucket lives. You may know him from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Or Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. We'll have a real feast. He brings a loaf of bread. That's sad. And Grandpa's buying tobacco. Their feast of a meal is a loaf of bread, and Grandpa is buying tobacco. That building in the upper right, that's interesting. It doesn't tell me anything about the year that I know. My guess is during the Depression, hard times, mid-30s would be my guess. There's not a ton to glean from this. Not it to my eyes anyway. Maybe you guys are smarter and can pick stuff out, but this one's hard for me. There might be vehicles there in the middle, but I can't tell. Those might just be more train cars. Yeah, I don't want to spend too long on this. But I will go to the chat. All right. We've got guesses. 1935 is our first. Oh, no. Our first guess is from Marlene. Welcome in, Marlene. 1932. Sounds good. Paul says 28. Also sounds good. Cynthia says 35. Noah says 31. All of these sound very plausible. 40s. 1930s. We got 29. We have 36. Zoom in on a train. Jonathan Chong, welcome in. I will try. All right. I knew it. Somebody's going to know something about trains. Let me go here on the right. That's... I don't know. What can you get from that? It's hard. It's not clear. What is this? Maybe this one can't even see what it says. I don't know. There are no people. There are no cars. Only outhouses. Well, let's see. We've got 33, 1954. Really? I mean, maybe. I don't know. A lot of our guesses are in the 30s. Connie says 36, and I think I like that. Rachel says 29. So earlier, I do not know. What's this popping up? I might go 36. Connie, I'm going to go with your guess. I like it. Here we go. Survey says 34. Not bad. Did we have some 34s in there? Maybe. I don't know. 32. 35. Cynthia was close with 35. 33. Mark said 33. That's the Seattle waterfront in 1933. Well, this says 34, but we know this game isn't accurate. Anyway, let's move on. We did get 849 points, so not bad. We're still doing good. Man, come on. I don't know what machine this is, but let's take a look at this person. I can't tell what's going on here. I don't know what type of factory this is or what's going on. Does anybody recognize this machinery? I do not. Footwear, bottles of milk. Is this a some sort of dairy processing plant? I assume that's milk. I don't really know. Are those bottles over here? Let's see. They are. It's a bottling factory of some sort. Can we see what's on a label? Are there labels? Not really. There are bottle caps. All right, so this is some sort of bottler. The reflection in the window lets us see the back of this person. What's in that box behind the person? It looks like it could be rubber chickens, like novelty, funny rubber chickens, but why? So that doesn't really tell me much. I guess let's look at what this person is wearing. High-waisted, pleated work pants. White at the bottom. What does this tell us? Is this also in the 30s? I don't know. Let's zoom out. What's up here? What's up here? Nothing. Nothing much. Oh, there's another person. Well, your guess is as good as mine. Actually, probably better. Let's see. All right. Our first guess on this one. Maybe labels for bottles. We've got looms and bobbins. How about that? Noah says 46. That's our first guess. We've got 1922, 45, 44, 36, 28, 42. That's just the ghost in the pic. Wow. This one's hard. Boot fit jeans. Indeed. Almost. No. I was going to say almost like something the Navy wears. No, probably not. Maybe just standard work pants for wherever this is. Whenever this is. Let's see, we have a 42, 38, 26. How far back does it go? Like zooming in, how far back in the picture does it go? Is that an auxiliary emergency shutoff button? I don't know. That's the whole picture there. 1941. Could it be silk? Well, what are the bottles for? I think we've determined these are bottles over here. Where's silk? I don't know. I'm so confused on this one. Let's go. Simba 2, welcome in. Chris, hello to you. 1939. Ben says 37. Let's see. All right. Let's go 26. I saw 26 somewhere in there, and I don't know. Because I don't know. 1926, survey says. 1920. Not a bad guess. Marlene. 1920 is way earlier than I thought, but I didn't have much to think about. We had a 28 was in there. 22, Nick said 22. Good guessing. How about that? I think that was our closest guess. All right, we earned 575 points there. Let's go on to picture 4. Okay. Does this look familiar to us? Have we had this? Who are these people signing things? What are they holding up? Let's zoom in. Progress? What does that say? Progroses. I don't know what that says. Oh, let's zoom out. All right. I'm looking at hairstyles in the audience, but maybe I should just be looking at the people on stage. It's a pretty good mustache. That guy with the mustache looks familiar. Why does he look familiar? Or maybe I'm just confusing him with somebody else. They are being filmed by a guy that's he doesn't need to close both his left eye like that, but maybe it's helping him. I don't know. Who am I to say? Nice members only jacket too. When is this? Early 80s? Late 70s, early 80s? I mean, this guy with the slick back hair, he's the one signing something. Why? Who's he? He does not look familiar to me. He looks like a pro bowler, but I don't think they're at a bowling alley. They are at some sort of arena. What's the picture on that? Can't really tell. I mean, they're in an arena. I would guess this is some sort of musical act. I don't know, though. We've got... Yeah, this looks 80s to me. Late 70s, maybe. Maybe even mid 80s. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that way. I'm getting later. Yeah, that jacket, his hair and mustache. That's kind of that's mid 80s to me. That's what I'm thinking. What about these women here? Hard to tell. 84. Let me look at the chat. Maybe you guys know. Ray Fosse. The baseball player? Maybe. Mark Spitz? A little bit. I think Mark Spitz had darker hair. Might be wrong about that. Let's see. Our first guess, I believe, is 1970. We have a 1979. Another 79. He's got a gut on him, so he doesn't look like a serious athlete. Noted, yeah. Marlene says 72. Mark says 82. 81. We have a 75, 78, 79, 79. From North to Neverland. Prognosis. Is that it? They just spelled their name funny? It's a band. Oh, okay. So I was right. I didn't know, never heard of that band. Mark says this is the Budapest Sports Hall in 1982. Ray Fosse, was he the one that was bowled over by Pete Rose? I don't remember. In the All-Star game. Probably. And that might not sit well with Ben, so you don't have to answer that. Wow. I don't know anything about that band. Are they Hungarian? I don't think they made much of a splash in this country. All right, let's just guess. What's Nick saying? Pink Floyd, Peter Gabriel, and Genesis. Mark, stop looking up the picture. It's cheating. 1980. Nick says 80. Let's go 1980. Survey says 82. How about that? We had 80. Mark said 82. Mark, I'm going to lean on you for the final picture. Great guessing if anybody else said that. Well done. What is Mark saying here? Oh, wow, he looked up the people and names I will not pronounce. There's a reporter next to him. How about that? Let's go to our last one. We have 3,200 points. It's always good to get over 4,000. That's always fun. Let's try it. We're not going to do it. No, maybe we will. This is in front of a cathedral. We've had a picture like this. Maybe we've had this picture. I certainly don't remember the answer. But we've had a similar picture if it wasn't this one. Things happening in front of this cathedral. We have no automobiles, or we do. We have automobiles and horse-drawn carriages. Or are they all horse-drawn? Anyway, so early 1900s. All the women look like they're dressed for the Titanic. Again, early 1900s. No smartphones. That's always a clue. Big top hats. Look at that. So this was some sort of service going on in this cathedral. This was perhaps Easter Sunday or something like that. I don't know. People are very dressed up. Or maybe it's a funeral because everybody's dressed in black. Or a lot of people are anyway. I can't zoom in too much without it going all blurry on us. So maybe this is a famous funeral. Why would they be taking a picture? Do I see any automobiles? I thought maybe in the middle of the picture that something was like this car right here in the middle. There's no horse there. That looks like a very early automobile. Well, that's the only one that I can really see. That I can see clearly anyway. Yeah, this may be a solemn occasion. But when? I mean, it can't be earlier than 1900. We know that. And the Titanic was... When was that? 1913? Something like that? So, these styles look a bit like that to me. I guess what I'm saying is my guess is 1913. Is this maybe a president's funeral? But wouldn't that be in Washington, D.C. maybe? I don't know. When did Teddy Roosevelt die? Because maybe that would have taken place in New York. I gotta adjust my headset. There we go. No? Yes. No, I can only... Uh-oh. There. Oh, all right. That helped. Okay, let's just take a look at the guesses. It's almost 8 o'clock already. Holy cow. All right. I think Marlene has our first guess. 1918. We have a 1904, 08, 1912. That is St. Patrick's Cathedral. And this is my St. Patrick's Day show. It's not. It could be. It's close. Connie says 1905. Nick says 1910. So that's what I'm going with. Paul says 1916. We have a 1905, 1917. People are saying Mark is cheating. Well, I don't know if there's a rule against looking things up. Donna, welcome in. You're not late. You are right on time for this very late part of the show. Let's see. 1911. I didn't read Mark's last comment. Let's see. It does look New York City. I didn't want to assume because I wasn't sure, but it was. If it's early 20th century, there aren't going to be many skyscrapers, you know. Let's see. I'm going to go 1910. That'll be my guess, and I'm sticking with it. Survey says 1904, so even earlier than I thought. Rachel said 05. Surfer Girl 05. Connie said 05. I should have gone 05. Mark did say 1904, but he's looking up the answers, isn't he? We got 3,848 points. That's weird to say. Okay. I always have fun playing this game with you guys. We've done better. We've done worse. That was a lot of fun. I do enjoy that. Let's see. How do I get rid of this? Like that, I guess. Okay. Let's go to an intermission, and then I'll have what I hope is a fun top 15 list. So stick around. I'll see you in about 50 seconds.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
Ah, there, and I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Faith, there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here now.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream, piping hot coffee, delicious hot dogs? Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar of their drive-in theater.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our top 15 list. And I came across something, I think I've seen it before. Something called the Mandela effect. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. What is it, and how does it relate to my thumbnail for this live stream? The Mandela effect is a phenomenon where large groups of people misremember something. I actually think I've got a better explanation. Let's see. From misremembering iconic lines in movies to recalling historical events incorrectly, the Mandela effect showcases the unreliability of our memories. What is it? It's a phenomenon where a large group of people remember something differently than how it occurred in reality. It is named after Nelson Mandela, as some incorrectly remembered him dying in prison in the 1980s. He didn't die in prison in the 1980s. He actually lived until 2013, I believe. So this effect is named after him because of that, because a large group of people thought they remembered him dying in prison in the 1980s. And some even remember his wife giving a speech afterwards. It didn't happen. He became, president of South Africa and lived until 2013. So is it real? Yes. This says the Mandela effect is a real researched phenomenon and is an interesting take on the reliability of human memory. Some people just think we are influenced by other things, which feeds into why we misremember something or think we remember it differently. Other people think that alternate universes are involved. I do not. Others think there's a conspiracy to lead us to believe things that didn't happen. I don't think that's true either. I just think there are reasons why we are led to believe these next 15 things that I have come across. And these are kind of the most popular ones out there. So let's go to the first one, which number 15, which was the image on my thumbnail. Which one of these is correct? Is it Looney Tunes, Toons, like cartoons? Or is it Looney Tunes, like a tune, like music? I wasn't sure. If I had to guess, I would have said Toons, Toons, like cartoons, because they were cartoons. I didn't really know or pay attention ever. Turns out it's Looney Tunes, Tunes, like music. Those type of tunes. But a lot of people remember it the other way or think they remember it the other way. So that's one example. I don't know if that's the best example, but it was the best one to put on my thumbnail. All right, next, number 14. You know the famous image of Uncle Sam, the World War I era poster where he's pointing at you and he says, "I want you for U.S. Army." And you know he's dressed in a blue coat, and he's wearing a top hat, and you know the top hat is got red and white stripes on it. Or does it? Because it does not. I'm going to show you that famous image. I would have thought that his top hat had red and white stripes. It does not. I would have gotten that wrong. But people... Here's why I think that's a widespread example of the Mandela effect. Because there are costumes of Uncle Sam like this, and the hat does have red and white stripes, and I think we've seen that. We've seen this image, of course, but we don't often see this image. Instead, we see costumes and cartoons and other things that may have a top hat with red and white stripes on it. That one does not. What do you know? Number 13, Curious George. Does Curious George have a tail or not? As it turns out, Curious George does not have a tail. So the image on the right is the correct image of Curious George. Number 12 is similar. A lot of people think that Mickey Mouse has no tail. This is the opposite. He does have a tail. So people misremember that as well. For whatever reason, maybe there are images of Mickey Mouse where you don't see his tail. Whatever. Some of these examples have to do with products that we purchase. Is it Fruit Loops, fruit spelled correctly, or is it F-R-O-O-T, Fruit Loops? It is F-R-O-O-T, Loops. You might be guessing that the images on the right are the correct ones by now. But, yeah, I guess this is something I've never even paid attention to, so I just don't know this one. Now, if people remember seeing the word fruit spelled correctly, that's one thing. But I've never paid attention. So it's not that I misremembered it, I don't remember it at all. Number 10, this has to do with Star Wars. There's a few Mandela effects involving Star Wars. One has to do with Darth Vader's famous line when he says, "Luke, I am your father." He doesn't really say that. He says, "No, I am your father." That's what he actually said. But this one has to do with C-3PO. And the fact that he's all gold. He's a completely gold droid character. Except that he's not. He actually has one silver leg. And you can kind of see it here. His right leg is silver. And I guess this is real. I never paid attention. So it's not that, again, I'm misremembering this, but this is, I've seen this example in a number of websites about the Mandela effect. So, yeah, he's got a silver leg there. All right. This next one, number 9, is maybe the most popular and maybe most divisive one. It has to do with the Fruit of the Loom logo, which has been around for 100 years. Excuse me. That belch was brought to you by D&G Explorers. Yes, they still sponsor burps on the internet. Okay, the question comes in, does the Fruit of the Loom logo have a cornucopia on it? You know, that horn of plenty. Or is it just the fruit? People swear that they have seen the cornucopia on the logo. But Fruit of the Loom themselves, they swear they've never had one on their logo. People remember seeing it, and I think I know where that comes from. Because when I was a kid, Fruit of the Loom had a series of commercials where they had a number of the fruits were characters. They were guys dressed up as an apple or grapes. And one of them was brown, and he was leaves. He kind of looked like tobacco leaves, but I think he was just part of the cornucopia. So people may mistake the color brown of that character with that object, but it doesn't exist. It's always been without that. It's only been the Fruit of the Loom. All right. But that's interesting. People, and there are fake images out there where people show you the tags on old shirts saying, here it is, it's with the cornucopia, but I don't think those are real because they're not tags on the back of a t-shirt. They're printed on, and that's a very new thing. That's only within the last 15 years or so where they screen print the label of a t-shirt right on the shirt itself, and they go without the tag. So if there is a tag with Fruit of the Loom tag with the cornucopia on there, I would imagine it's a much older garment. But Fruit of the Loom themselves say we've never had one. So that's interesting. Ari Stein, welcome in. Thanks for being here. All right, everybody. We are on number 8. All right, this one has to do with Ed McMahon. Do you remember when he did commercials for, excuse me, Publishers Clearinghouse, and he would award people great sums of money? You You think you remember that, but you'd be wrong. Not that he didn't award people great amounts of money, but it wasn't. Oh, there it is. It wasn't Publishers Clearinghouse. It was an organization called American Family Publishing that he did that for. But people remember him doing it for Publishers Clearinghouse because they were the first ones to do it, and they're the ones that are still around, I believe. And we remember him in these commercials, of course, but it was for a totally different company. Now, as I say American Family Publishers, I can hear him saying that in my head because I saw those ads a lot, and he said it a lot, and there was dozens of those commercials, seemingly. So it was for American Family Publishers and not Publishers Clearinghouse. Number 7, Cheez-Its or Cheez-It? I think people just assume it's Cheez-Its. It's not. It's Cheez-It. That's the actual one. The one on the right is correct. The one on the left is not. They've never been Cheez-Its. It's always been Cheez-It. So how about that? The next one, number 6, has to do with the Scooby-Doo cartoons, specifically the character of Shaggy and his enormous Adam's apple that they had animated onto his character in those cartoons. Except Shaggy never had an Adam's apple. Here he is. He doesn't have one there. I will say I would have bought into this because there is a cartoon character out there that had an Adam's apple. It just wasn't Shaggy, and I don't remember who it was. But I remember that. I just don't remember who it was. Perhaps somebody in the chat land knows what I'm talking about. I would have thought it was this dude, but it's not. Shaggy doesn't have an Adam's apple. Zoinks, indeed. All right. This next one has to do with the Monopoly guy. The Monopoly man. The mascot of the game of Monopoly. And it has to do with whether he has a monocle or not. Spoiler alert. He does not. And he never has. I could not find an image where he was ever wearing a monocle. He's never had one. And I think people get this guy confused. He's wearing a top hat. He's very classy. I think they get him confused with the Planters Peanut mascot, Mr. Peanut, who does have a monocle and who's also very classy. But as you can see, the correct image is on the right. He does not have a monocle. He never did. Tinker from Speed Buggy, did he have a Adam's apple? Wow. Good pull on that one. You hate this. You're convinced he had a monocle. I would have thought that too. But it's the dude that sells peanuts, I think. Now, here's one. There's a number of movie lines that people misremember, like "Play it again, Sam" from Casablanca. Never said. It was "Play it once, Sam" or something like that. Anyway. The previous one I mentioned about Star Wars. "No, I am your father." That's the actual line. So this one is from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where the queen says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" Except some of you probably know this. That's not the line. It's actually "Magic mirror on the wall." Not "mirror, mirror." That came after. People, I think, parodying this scene may have said "mirror, mirror," and it just caught on like that. There was no home video for the longest time. So it wasn't as if you could, pop in your home video copy of this movie to see what the line was. And unless it was released back into theaters or eventually shown on the Disney Sunday Night Movie or whatever, we weren't going to find out easily. So it is "Magic mirror on the wall," not "Mirror, mirror on the wall." All right. Next, number 3. This has to do with the Pillsbury Doughboy and how he's dressed, or well, I mean, not much, but he does wear a chef's hat. I don't know what those are called, and it's got the blue Pillsbury logo right there in the center. And the only other accessory he has is a scarf. And do you know what color that scarf is? I'll wait. Is that true? That's another reason why people get it wrong. And not just that they misremember. They remember it correctly because they see it and stuff like that. Yeah. Blue, blue, red, blue. Blue? No, you're all wrong. His scarf, in all of the commercials that you've ever seen, have him wearing a white scarf. And in most, there has been merch. By the way, his name is Poppin' Fresh. The original story, says Mirror Mirror. Oh, look at that. Thanks, everybody, for your explanations and reasons. Oh, the blue eyes. I forgot about that, too. Anyway, with Poppin' Fresh here, he's always had a white scarf in the commercials. However, there has been merch, specifically if you Google the Pillsbury Doughboy, you might come across an image of a plush, and it's not a great plush. It's like 2 pieces of fabric that were sewn together on the edges to form a very doesn't look much like the Pillsbury Doughboy. And it's just a white fabric with black drawing on it to outline Poppin' Fresh on there. And they gave him a blue scarf for that because otherwise it would have looked weird, I think. But and other than that, and people have like salt and pepper shakers that look like the Pillsbury Doughboy that have a blue scarf on there, but I'm not sure that those are legit. So for the commercials, and that's where we mostly see this character, always a white scarf. And I think you might be onto something here. In Ghostbusters, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man may have had a blue scarf because he was dressed like a sailor, right? I think you're right about that. Yes, indeed. Which might be another reason. Yeah. All right, 2 more. Next. People swear at one time they had there was a peanut butter brand out there called Jiffy. And there was not. It's always been Jif. Now, there was Skippy, and there were other products with the word Jiffy in there. Jiffy wasn't the muffin mix. That's Jiffy, correct? Also, Jiffy Pop popcorn. That's a thing, or was. But the peanut butter was never Jiffy. It was always Jif. But people swear that it was Jiffy. I remember that, but they don't. Jiffy Pop Muffin Mix, indeed. Well played. Where's my rim shot? There it is. Okay. Last one. This has to do with geography, oddly enough. Why am I ending on this? I don't know. It just ended up that way. If I asked you, where is South America, you might say it is due south of North America. North America, South America, right under it. But if you actually look at a map, any globe, you will see that it is way more east than you probably thought it was. So it's practically not due south of us at all. So here's a map. And as you can see, South America is way further east than you may have thought. At least a lot of people think it's right underneath us. It's right underneath Mexico. But it's really southeast, isn't it? but people, I think this is an assumption, or they're not often looking at maps of the world like this. More often they're looking at maps of South America or North America and not the two together. And maybe that's another reason. But yeah, I don't. This when I first saw this, it shocked me a little bit. I go, wow, this map is altered, but every map I looked at was like this. So yeah, it's south of the equator, South America, but east of where I am right now. I think I'm in Tampa, so it kind of looks like every bit of South America is a bit more east than I am right now. How about that? Anyway, so that's it. That's the top 15 list. The Mandela effect. There are other examples out there. Some are lame, some are not examples of this at all, frankly. Like Fruit Loops. I just never paid attention. I didn't know. Anyway, that's that. That was my show. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you coming up. Happy spring break for those of us that are celebrating it. Woohoo! Thank you for joining me. I'll be back next week with more shenanigans and games and stuff to eat and drink and stuff like that. If you came into the stream and I did not see you, thank you for being here. Sorry I didn't acknowledge you, but I'm a one-man show here. I do the best I can. All right, everybody. I'll see you around the chats on YouTube. Until I do, though, have a good night.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.